Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Good morning. Today is Friday, the start of another weekend. At the end of it, I'm just getting on with my life. The same things are going on, but I'm trying to deal with it with a smile. I think the children go back to school next week. That'll be less pressure on families, less financial pressure, a bit of less strain on them. I think that it's very stressful having your children home for 6 weeks, and it's financially difficult, and it's been a strain on families, but I think everybody's got through it. It is hard being a parent, and I won't deny that fact because I went through it myself. So I know being a parent is a difficult time. And it's a learning curve because you are learning all about it, especially for first-time parents. It can be very stressful. You're learning how to change a baby, how to bath a baby, and you're in a relationship and you're learning to bring up a child. So I know how difficult it is. I do know that. And when I was a young parent, the struggles that come with it, not only financial struggles, and I think all of us are entitled to have a child as long as we're bringing it up in a caring, loving environment, whether we haven't got much money or we have. Being a parent is a difficult, challenging time. So I'm not moaning or complaining about that. But if somebody needs help and support, like I think the guy upstairs needs help and support with children that are challenging, especially autistic children that can bite and scratch and scream, then you shouldn't be afraid to reach out for support, and if you're not getting it, to push it until you do. Because what upsets me, it's not the fact that the noise is pretty bad. It's bad, especially when the screaming's going on, and at night when you're trying to go to bed and it sounds like the ceiling's crashing in. My problem is not with that. It's with the fact that there could be something wrong. When you hear a child scream, no one likes to hear a child scream or, run up and down, and to me it sounds like the whole flat upstairs is being trashed to pieces. Not only is that disturbing for me because I can't see what's going on, I can just hear it, and I don't want to be an interfering nosy neighbour, believe you me, I don't. But what do you do? I know autistic kids can scratch and hurt and hit, and you can't retaliate, obviously, but then you should be seeking help and support, not only for yourself but for those children. That's what I believe. Now, I don't want to poke my nose in. I don't want to go upstairs and knock the door. Neither do I want to get stressed out and feel terrible myself. So it's a difficult situation. For me, it's a difficult situation, right? Now, either he doesn't know or he's pretending to ignore the situation. So the only thing that I've come up with is to try and move out of here, right? That's the only solution I can come up with, because I've tried to get help for them. I have, believe you me. But anything to do with me, right? Nobody helps me. So anything, if I go and ask for help personally, I don't get it. If I report something, people don't listen to me. It needs somebody else to do it, or the person themselves to report it, because nobody listens to me. They don't. They see my name and they think, fuck it, we're going to let her suffer. That is the truth. That's 100% truth. If I ask for something, support or something, it's either delayed, I don't get it. So don't rely on me to get help for you. You need to get help for yourself, or someone else needs to see what's going on and get help, because this is just ridiculous. Living like this is ridiculous. I don't know the situation, so I don't know if the mother's got a house, because it's a split parent family, so I don't know if the mother's got a house and she's just, well, I don't know the situation, but it's like in these flats, it's hot. It absolutely reaches like summer degrees in winter. It's hot in here. I don't remember having a winter last year where I actually put the radiators on, because it gets hot in these flats and it must be very uncomfortable for children. Number one, that. Number two, the design is crap. It's like a cage. I mean, all kids have got is a little balcony to play on. They've got no space. I mean, you can't kick a football on a balcony. You can't jump, skip and hop on a balcony, can you? So they're obviously doing that indoors inside the house, which is understandable when they're kids. So I feel bad, believe you me, I feel bad, because the noise is affecting me, but on the other hand of it, I can see that they're children and they want to play. These children should have a garden and somewhere to play in. And if you've got money and you're choosing somewhere for your kids to live in, why would you choose? Now this poor guy upstairs, right, he's obviously not owning his own home, so I'm not talking about him. But these people that buy apartment flats with no garden, me personally growing up with no garden, it affected me absolutely, and I used to run up and down and scream. I wasn't autistic, I was being abused. And I was screaming inside the flat and nobody heard me. That's why it hurts me even more, see? So I needed you all to explain to you that I'm not a nasty person. I'm not a complaining old bag. I feel sorry for those kids, see? Because I was a child once their age, running up and down and screaming because I didn't have anywhere to vent my feelings, to run about and play. Now my mum used to take me out to parks, and we used to go out to the park and go to the swings and the slide and the roundabout, but you've still got to come home to a closed off space with nowhere to play in, really. So I spent most of my childhood without a garden. But I'm just wondering, the mum, yeah? So this dad upstairs is coping with 3 or 4 autistic kids on his own for several days now. Must be hard work, it must be draining. It must be awful for both sides of it. So I don't understand. And there must be many more families, autistic families, that need help and support and aren't getting it. There must be. These people need help and support. The children need love and care. And obviously, it does make me wonder if it stems from being brought up in a split family, some of it. you know, split from your parents. You don't see your mum all the time. You don't see your dad all the time. You're going to your mum, then going to your dad, and then back and forth, back and forth. It must be distressing for a child. So I'm not moaning or complaining. I'm just trying to explain to you how it feels on my side of the board, and then I can understand how it feels on those kids' side, being stuck in probably somewhere where they don't want to be in, to be quite honest. So that's that. Yes, I do go to bed with earplugs in. I don't want to shout at them. I don't want to go upstairs and rant and moan. I just want them to get the help and support they need. So I shan't be moaning anymore, like, oh, because kids are going back to school next week, and that should make them a bit more tired when they come home. And they've got things to do, and when they go to school, they've got a routine. The school has got a routine from in the morning to the afternoon, and that's what children need. Right? They do. That's what they need. A routine. Not chaos. So I've got up this morning. I've made my cup of herbal tea. I care. So I've put on the radio, listened to some uplifting songs, and I suggest anybody else does that. If you're living in a stressful situation like I am, just put on your favourite song, put on some uplifting songs, and dance or sing the stress away, because that's what I've been doing for the past couple of days. Now, when I went outside last night, right, I am logging things down because I need to get out of this flat, and I need to show the council and the housing how this is affecting my health. And it's nothing nasty. It's nothing nasty to anybody else. I don't want something to happen to somebody else. I want to get out of this flat because it's affecting my health, right? That's all that's being done for, nothing else. So I am logging things down, and it is serious. Yes, I'm not doing it for fun. And I am constructing letters to go to the housing and council, and I am thinking of ways of pursuing compensation from the police, especially when I've been attacked, whether it is verbally or whatever, outside in the street, and they've done nothing. And I've got incidence numbers way back to 2008 involving an alleged rape, a physical assault, and the police have just done nothing, absolutely nothing. All the lies, there's no CCTV footage when there's been cameras right where the person did it. Now that's just blatant lies and bullshit. Absolute rubbish. So they will, yes I am, and I'm not lying. I should be seeking legal assistance. If you haven't got much money, you can get a solicitor for free, and I shall find one. I'll find one, and they're not getting away with what they're doing. It's wrong. Not only are they affecting my health, they're affecting those kids' health upstairs, which is disgusting and disgraceful. So last night I went out with Max at 7 o'clock in this evening. I'm a woman living by myself. I've got no bodyguard. I've got nobody to stop these animals from getting near me. I've got no way. And I don't believe in physical violence. So when they're coming towards me aggressively, I've got to deal with it in a cool, calm manner. So I went outside on my own, a woman on my own, a middle-aged woman, I'm not young. I went outside on my own with my dog. The police know what these people have been doing. And for a while it stopped. And now I'm logging the incidents down again and I'm writing letters. They have started ramping up the bullying, right? So I take my camera outside. So, no exception today, I will take my camera outside, and if anybody is coming towards me in an aggressive manner or they've got dogs loose, they will be caught on camera. And if again the police don't do anything, at least the incident is catalogued, and then when it finally does come to account, whether it's in the newspapers, on the television, that the police haven't been doing their job properly, because I've got physical evidence, photographs and videos and proof of this bullying and harassment every day. And they're just choosing to ignore it. You know what happened to Virginia Giuffre, Prince Andrew, all that, what she went through, all that abuse Virginia Giuffre went through involving Prince Andrew. And she ended up committing suicide. Right? And they're all well aware of it. And Liam Payne. And I'm tired of going into Mr. UK TikTok official's live stream. I've stopped doing it for my mental health. About 4 times I witnessed somebody saying there, why don't you do a Liam Payne? And I don't think Liam Payne committed suicide. No, I don't think he committed suicide at all. So why don't you go and do a Liam Payne means why don't you jump off the balcony? That's what it means. And they know that I go into there and they're deliberately writing suicidal stuff. I've reported it to TikTok and TikTok still let these people write this insanity. Don't stop them. TikTok are allowing people to write things of a suicidal nature and not do anything about it. And though they say their content policies don't allow suicidal references, they bloody well do, because I've experienced it about 4 times in there. There's people of all sorts of ages and sexes that suffer from mental health problems, not just me. So I should report TikTok. Absolutely. There must be a boss of TikTok. Everybody's got a boss, someone in charge. So that's that. No more TikTok. So they're getting at me outside again. Walked out the flats, walked up to the Rochester Riverside Field, which is in Rochester, Kent, United Kingdom, and they know fully well where it is. They're not stupid, they're not thick. They're just horrible. So I went onto the field and immediately there's trouble. Immediately. You've got an old lady with grey hair and her Scotty dog is in the garden of the over 55 flats and it starts barking at me, trying to stir up trouble, because right in front of me is a group of 4 adults, 2 children and about 2 or 3 dogs. So there's no space to walk past them. There's no space, and this woman has already incited trouble by getting her dog to bark at me, thinking I'm going to get cross. A bit like my mother, stirring up shit. So I can't go that way. There's kids, dogs, adults. So do they need more space? Do they need the whole field? Because I'm trying to stand on the grass away from them and go around the corner, and they're still letting their dogs try to get to me. And what's the point of having your dog on the lead if the lead is so long it can jump onto somebody? What's the fucking point of that? So I didn't do anything. It was pissing me off because they were pretending I wasn't there. They knew I was because I could see the woman smirking. I knew they knew I was there, and I knew it was staged, and I'm not going to shout at children. And at one point the kid was holding the dog lead and it fell off. Absolutely ridiculous behaviour. And I don't want to film kids. So to me that was using children. Parents using children to get to me, which is disgusting. Because they know you can't, if there's children involved, I mean, it just looks really terrible if you start shouting, doesn't it? And I know that Chelsea Liart came into contact with a couple of older kids and she shouted at them. She shouted at them. Now, I'm not going to do that because that makes me look bad. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday to Sir Lenworth George Henry, aka Lenny Henry, comedian, actor, and British national treasure.
Alexa, how old is Lenny Henry?
Lenny Henry is 67 years old.
For anybody that doesn't know, Lenny Henry is a black male comedian. And I grew up watching him when I was a teenager. Lenny Henry. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 8:35 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Friday the 29th of August.
And Alexa, what advice would you give to anyone that's got the intention of bullying today?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, what advice would you give to a bully?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay, let's rephrase it another way. Alexa, what would you define bullying as?
From wikipedia.org. Bullying is the use of force, coercion, hurtful teasing, comments, or threats, in order to abuse, aggressively dominate, or intimidate one or more others.
Alexa, what are the side effects of bullying?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with
I know
that.
I've got to say that differently. What are the effects of bullying somebody? Alexa, what are the effects of bullying someone?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Well, I would say that it can lead to mental health problems, physical health problems, and ultimately to suicide. Right, I'm going to go now, guys. I live in Rochester. I don't want to be harsh, but I'm not being walked all over anymore. See you later.